What's going on, guys? Unknown Player here, and today we've got a ton of stuff to talk about inside this video, and all really exciting news, to be honest. There's no drama or bad news, just a lot of things that are really nice to hear about Destiny 2 and really positive for the future. But I've got a bunch of topics and rounded them all up, and we'll be discussing them inside this one video. So Bungie have officially begun teasing DLC number 2, the next expansion coming in around a month from now. We're also going to be talking about a 4th subclass, believe it or not, and also the 3rd expansion coming in September. There's a very special event going on really soon, which I want to tell you guys about, and also some random bits of news that Bungie's been announcing, like for example Rumble is going back to 6 players very soon. So lots of stuff, and like I said, it's all very positive topics, which is nice for once. So like I said, we've got a lot to get through today. As usual, if you'd like to support the channel, then a like rating would be much appreciated, and let's jump into it. So let's begin with some DLC 2 stuff. Bungie have officially begun teasing it and kind of hyping it, and this is the build up basically. So this actually began with the wrestler The Big Shows. You guys probably remember back before Destiny 2's launch, he did a lot of promotional stuff with Destiny 2 and Bungie, and he's a big fan of the game, so they kind of worked together to promote stuff. So from his official Twitter account, he tweeted out saying, soon hashtag Destiny 2 partner. I think the partner bit just means like hashtag ad or sponsorship, just kind of pointing out that he's being paid to do it and is like a partner of the game. But of course, the main thing is he is wearing a t-shirt with the expansion logo on it, the Warmind or Rasputin icon. Now, moments after this, there was a second teaser put up, and this is actually from Christopher Barrett, who works at Bungie, of course, one of the senior designers, and I'm pretty sure he's the Bungie developer in charge of calling the shots for DLC 2. We've seen him talk about it a lot. So he quote tweeted the Big Show's tweet saying nothing to see here, and then made his own tweet with a very Rasputin Warmind kind of cryptic code tweet saying Aurora Retroflex initiated. Now, I did a bit of research and found the only place this code actually appears, it wasn't very hard because there's only one place, but that is a Grimoire card from Destiny 1, Ghost Fragment Rasputin 6. Obviously, a lot of it's very gibberish, it's just a bunch of computer code, but this part says re-engage population protective objectives, query reset moral structures, enquiry activate defense subroutine, Aurora Retroflex. I'm pretty sure these are kind of transcripts of what Rasputin is thinking, how he responds to stuff. It's kind of his code basically. Now, there's a lot of stuff in here that you probably recognize from the Collapse and also the Sleeper Simulate quest line, things like Midnight Exigent and also the Skyshock event. There's also Palisade Imperative, which is apparently when a bunch of life forms are in a restricted area and getting suppressed, i.e. destroyed or killed by Rasputin. And the next line is SIVA use authorized, self-destructs disengaged, security codes reset, all defenses activated, frames activated, which is basically Rasputin's army. And then it says replicate, eliminate, immunize, which is Rasputin controlling and telling SIVA what to do to kill the Iron Lords. So there may be another Owl Sector type campaign, which of course led up to Rise of Iron. That was also very Warmind focused. But either way, this DLC is definitely going to be involving Rasputin and now possibly SIVA and some kind of enemy threat that's invading Rasputin. So yeah, this is the official beginning of Bungie starting to announce and build up DLC number 2, which is cool to see finally. And if I was to bet, I'd say we're going to get a trailer for it either on Monday or Tuesday, so stay tuned. Of course, I'll be covering everything that happens, but we're definitely going to be seeing some stuff very soon, so of course keep your eyes peeled right here on the channel. So moving on, we're going to discuss a bunch of super interesting things that Bungie brought up in a recent live stream, and all relates to future content, DLCs, expansions, things we might see later down the line. So Bungie were asked on stream, are there any set plans to introduce new elements, classes, subclasses, or weapon types to the game in the near future? And their response was actually pretty interesting. They said yes to some of those. From my desk right now, I can look around and see new hotness on several people's screens. We'll be showing off a lot of this new stuff in the months to come. So the question was asking about 4 things: new elements, which are Solar Arc and Void, classes as in like Hunter, Titan, Warlock, subclasses, which obviously you know what subclasses are, and weapon types like a SMG, auto rifle, scout rifle, swords, things like that. So Bungie directly said yes, some of those are being added to the game and shown off in the months to come. I kind of doubt that any of these are going to be in DLC 2, but now it's a case of figuring out which of those 4 things are going to be inside the 3rd expansion. So honestly, a new element type, I doubt that's something we'd see in Destiny 2's life cycle. I mean, the way it fits into the lore and just like every weapon we have, it just seems unlikely to me. Obviously, I would absolutely love it to happen. Like, I wish we'd get 10 new elements, but realistically, I don't think it's going to happen. Also, classes, I think this is the most unlikely thing. I think Bungie's very set on the Hunter, Titan, Warlock, and it would be very strange for them to add a 4th thing, like a Hunter, Titan, Warlock, and something else. So again, I think it's a bit unlikely. Obviously, I would love it to be the case, but I think it's a bit unrealistic. So that leaves the other 2 things being new subclasses and new weapon types, which I think both those are very likely. In fact, both those things were added in the Taken King expansion for Destiny 1, so we are getting the same thing, a large expansion this September, that's confirmed. So if you connect the dots, it's very likely we'll see new subclasses and new weapon types in this DLC. I mean, in House of Wolves, we've got the sidearms, which are obviously a new weapon type, and then we also got swords in Taken King, and also 3 new subclasses on top of that. So it is very easy to imagine Destiny 2's Taken King equivalent is going to bring similar stuff. stuff. Now you might be thinking, what about Rise of Iron? That didn't bring any new subclasses, but to be honest, Rise of Iron wasn't really part of the plan. It was only introduced when Destiny 2 got delayed. I think the only weird thing would be to imagine 4 subclasses for each class, like 12 in total. That's a lot. And that would also mean 2 subclasses of the same element. So imagine a hunter with 2 void subclasses, the Night Stalker, and also like an aggressive, like melee based one. But yeah, either way, out of new classes, subclasses, elements, and weapon types, we're getting some of those added in the coming months. Now, Bungie were also asked, when is the reveal stream for DLC 2 and Season 3? The response was later this month. They said, we'll show you where you're going next and who you'll meet when you get there, how you'll share new activities with your friends, and what you'll be able to chase in Crucible to prove your prowess. They also confirmed they are actually definitely making changes to the weapon slot system, so they're testing the changes right now. There's lots they can't talk about until summer, so the fact they can't talk about these changes until the summer most likely means these weapon slot changes are in the September expansion or at the earliest a summer update. They were also asked, when are we going to hear about solutions like random rolls, perks, mods, and depth to loot? And they said how they know we want to be excited about loot again, the adrenaline rush of finally getting something to drop, and they're working on all of that, and they're going to talk about those plans when they're more concrete. In terms of random things, they said there are going to be new Crucible game modes in the future, and possibly returning modes as well. Rift wasn't a question that was asked, so Rift may come back. They were asked again about TTK or time to kill in the Crucible, and if they're going to raise it. They said not directly, maybe in the future, but in the May update, they are buffing a ton of exotics as we've seen in a lot of ways, and lots of them have kill times as fast as the Vigilance Wing, which they also have no plans on nerfing. So Vigilance Wing is staying as it is, which if you don't know has the fastest time to kill in the game. So the fact they're pushing stuff to that is a pretty good step. So moving on to the next topic, something also related to expansions and future content. But this is the announcement of the Destiny Community Summit, which is happening on the 19th and 20th of April. And this is going to be Bungie inviting a small group of community members to test new content, play the game and new stuff they're working on, and give feedback on it. I said it on Twitter yesterday, but I've actually been invited to attend this event. So again, like I always say, it's thanks to you guys and your support. I mean, the sole reason I'm always invited to these events to do this cool stuff is because of you guys and your support of me and my channel. So I'm always very grateful to all of you. So I've been lucky enough to attend dozens of capture events for Destiny and other games as well. And this one is definitely very different. So normally it's a very simple, hey, we want to bring you out to our studio, play some new content, and you can upload it to your channel. Whereas this invite is very, very different. It's pretty much saying like, yeah, you can come and play the new DLC and record it and upload it later. But the main focus of this event is to have conversations with developers at Bungie. We want to show you what we're working on. We want your opinions on future releases that are yet to be locked. We want to show you our new plans and learn from you while we still have time to react to your feedback, which is very important. And they said join us to play and record content that's going to be released in the weeks to come, but also stick around to hear what developers have planned for later on this year, I'm guessing meaning DLC 3. So yeah, like I said, it isn't the usual just play DLC 2 and upload content. It is going to be that, and of course I will have some early gameplay of the DLC on the channel soon, but the main focus is to talk about the future and the content they're still working on. Even if we did give feedback about DLC 2, it's going to be launching a couple weeks after, so there's literally nothing that can be done about DLC 2. So again, the stuff we're going to be giving feedback for is most likely summer content, summer updates, maybe events, and most likely the September DLC. Also, another big difference about this event is who's going. So normally, like I said, it's a capture event, so they invite YouTubers or press or anyone with a platform to upload gameplay. Whereas this one, like I said, is not just content creators or YouTubers, it's the entire community. There are people that do live streams, podcasts, moderate forums, so just general community members. I mean, regardless of if it's me or someone else, if there's even one slight way in which this game can improve, then it's definitely worth doing. And also, this event is very different because this doesn't have to be kept a secret, so we're allowed to talk about it. Pretty much every single capture event I've been to, we have to keep it secret, and we're not allowed to talk about it until literally the day that we upload the content. I pretty much represent you guys, so if there's anything you want me to think about or tell Bungie or just bear in mind, then let me know down below in the comments. Even if I can't reply to them all, I do read all of my comments, so if there's 100 or 1,000, I do read all of them. So when I'm at Bungie in a couple of weeks talking to developers, I'll be bearing all of your comments in mind, of course, and thinking about things you guys said. But it's going to be a way for Bungie to get a ton of feedback from lots of different parts of the community at once, so I think it's going to be very good for the game in the future. Now, in terms of some other random bits of news, they did, of course, have their Bungie bounty stream. I mean, the last time Bungie did a stream was back in November, so they always kind of do a test stream before the big reveals. Some other very, very good news that I'm personally pleased to hear, and I'm sure a lot of you will be as well. The next time Rumble is the weekly Crucible playlist, which is going to be the 17th of April. Bungie are going to be lowering the player count down from 8 to 6, which is what a lot of us asked for. And on top of that, they're also going to be improving the spawns and making them better to keep players more evenly spaced out. So it's literally 2 for 1. I think it's going to be very, very good for the game mode. Rumble's going to be a bit less mayhem and people spawning behind you, and you're going to have time to reload and regen your health. Now, also next week is going to be Iron Banner, so that is going to be the weekly Crucible playlist. I'm actually really excited for that because it's basically Destiny 1 Crucible returning. So the teams are of course 6v6, which I'm really looking forward to. All the zones are going going to be neutral at the beginning, so it's going to be a bit more strategic and less just rush to B, but the zones take longer to capture, and you also get more super energy from them, so it's going to be a very classic kind of Destiny 1 Iron Banner Crucible control experience. This is going to be the second last Iron Banner of Season 2, so there's still one more left on May 1st, but all the weapons, the Scout Rifle, Grenade Launcher, Pulse Rifle, Hand Cannon, Auto, and also Shotgun are going to be inside the loot pool of the rewards and also purchasable. And once again, this Iron Banner runs for 1 week, of course, starting next Tuesday. Also on Tuesday, there's going to be a small hotfix called 1.1.4.1, and the servers are going to be down a little bit for maintenance before that. Inside this hotfix are going to be finally fixing the tower black screen when you load in, so that's actually fixed now, and also the raid kind of memory leak, which causes you to get stuck if you change your gear. And also this patch is going to return Rumble down to 6 players ahead of when it returns the following Tuesday. Next week, Bungie are also going to be updating the roadmap and giving us details on what's happening in summer and beyond. So we're actually going to get details or kind of a rough overview of the September DLC, I'm hoping, and of course any updates or events or what's happening in the meantime in the summer. So yeah, like I said, a ton of stuff to get through inside this video, and all very good and kind of positive news, which is nice for once. As always, if you did enjoy the video and if you would like to support the channel, then a like rating down below would be much appreciated. Of course, there's going to be DLC 2 announcements and trailers soon. I'm also going to record early gameplay for you guys. I'll have that soon as well, and I'll keep you guys up to date with anything happening for the game. So of course, make sure you are subscribed if you aren't already. If you want to watch a video I've recently made talking about random roles in Destiny 2 and a bunch of other stuff, then click the image that's just appeared on screen right now. But as always, I appreciate you guys watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.